I'm leaning on the lamppost.
Hello and welcome to the LampPod. It is me, Sam, and you,
Neil. Hello.
and this is our first time attempting to record video.
So basically, if you're watching this, we succeeded. If you're not watching this, we failed, and this is just going up as an audio clip. So we'll try not to do anything sort of too visual today.
Yeah.
But yeah, this also will be the lowest quality video you will see us put up.
Yeah, of a LampPod or anything, really.
Yeah, because we're currently recording this on just like a webcam on my laptop.
Yeah.
But we're planning on getting a sort of 1080p good webcam for hopefully next week.
Yeah.
Or if not, the near future.
Indeed.
So you won't have to put up with our low quality faces for too long.
Yeah, unless that's preferable.
Yeah, unless
Like,
you love...
the more blur, the better, just to conceal our inadequacies.
I'm wearing a hat today, Sam.
Yeah, he's wearing a hat. So if
Should
you've
you-
ever seen like the
I was very
animated...
self-conscious that I hadn't worn a hat in any videos because my animated face, at the time, 6 months ago, I had very long hair.
Yeah.
And like I always wore a hat just to manage it. And then I got a haircut sort of a few weeks into it, and by the time we'd started recording things, I'd stopped wearing hats.
Yeah, like hats had become a thing. And
They were a
had
thing
them,
for
and
so
then-
long. Like people were giving me gift hats,
Yeah.
taking it off.
Yeah, you're
Putting it back on.
I mean? Funny enough, actually,
Backward, man.
as a bit of continuity, this Guinness hat, which we are not sponsored by, because Guinness tastes like shit, right?
Guinness is the worst thing in the world.
He likes it, I don't.
Yeah, but we're not
But
sponsored.
we're not sponsored by them. That hat was gifted to you.
This was a gift from Max, who's been on the LampPod
Yeah, and I believe
4 times.
Yeah,
4 or 5 times?
I think so. 3.
Been on a few times, ain't
Yeah, but he actually said to you in one of the podcasts, like, "Oh, I'll give you
a hat.
a Guinness hat or whatever."
Yeah, and then
I
we
think-
put at the end of that video we put out like a best description of an apple or something.
Oh yeah, and you'll
would
win.
get a hat.
Yeah, you'd win the hat.
And then Big Revs commented.
Yeah,
it's
Big
just
Revs.
it's a big universe
It
we live
is,
in.
this lamppost.
Speaking of universes, this one isn't part of one. So yeah, basically today we there's not really been a lot of news. Pokemon Go is sort of taking over the world, so there's not really been any news to sort of talk about.
No.
So we're just going to sort of talk Ghostbusters, go through it, what from sort of scene by scene. I saw it, by the time we'd done the review, I'd seen it twice. So I saw it on the first day it came out, and then because it came out in England on Monday the 9th?
Whatever the
Something.
day the 9th
Anyway,
was,
it came out on the Monday, and I saw it with other people on the Monday, and then sort of Sam on the Tuesday, and then we recorded the review after that. So on the second time, I had a book with me, and I was that nerd who sits down to review films, writing.
It was every 5 minutes. It was just he'd disappear and start writing. Not disappear.
I did really well writing in the dark. There's very few moments where like the words don't add up or like the line's not straight. Or,
Yeah, you've done a good job. Actually,
I'm pretty happy with that.
You should try and get a job in
The dark.
writing stuff. Yeah,
In the
writing
dark.
stuff in the dark.
But yeah, so yeah, should we jump in?
Yeah, before we start as well, we're also not sponsored by Pepsi.
We are not sponsored by Coke or Pepsi.
Tastes disgusting.
It's very sugary.
It's the only thing we had in the shed to drink.
Oh yeah, this is the shed.
This is the shed. You might have seen.
I just thought we no longer have the Flash comics to put the mic on.
Oh yeah, we're
We should
revolutionising.
transfer that over.
Yeah, we should.
I feel like we should have the Flash comics.
It's kind of a legacy thing. So we used to put the mic on top of
Flash comics.
4
to
Flash comics.
Sort of stop vibrations or something getting to the mic. There was some sort of thought.
Yeah,
behind it.
it was. Yeah, I don't know, something like that.
But yeah, but now it's on a Hard Rock Cafe thing.
Matt, which you will see here, which we are also not sponsored by.
We're
not sponsored by anyone, okay?
I'm not sponsored by Volkswagen Beetles. Sam isn't sponsored by
The Mesh Company.
Crisscross.
Crisscross Lamb.
But yeah. Oh, there's another fox in this video.
There is Fox. Yeah.
Oh, that's consistent.
Woo, foxes.
But yeah, so let's jump in.
Around.
Ghostbusters 2016, the female feminism
Yes.
version.
Also, I know it's.
Should we just do opening thoughts? Like,
Well-
because I mean, we did the review and we
Yeah.
sort of said what we thought about it. But should we just reiterate on that?
So in the review, we sort of said that we were.
We enjoyed it.
We enjoyed it. We were happy that it wasn't
Bad.
bad.
Yeah, we enjoyed. Like, it wasn't no one's favorite film. I don't think it will be anyone's favorite film ever.
No.
But yeah, we were just happy that it came out and it wasn't a terrible movie.
Yeah, it was like certainly passable, and there was a lot of hate towards it, leading up to it for like almost no reason. It was just like, we hate it because reboots and stuff, you know?
The thing is, it wasn't a good movie.
No.
But it wasn't bad enough to...
No.
Like, I saw a review on... So Mr. Sunday Movies does a best movie ever, worst movie ever review.
Right.
And at the end of it, he said, if you've hated everything about this movie so far, this film won't change your mind about that.
Okay.
Which I think is true.
Right.
I think I believe that. Like, we haven't hated anything we've seen. We've just not been, like, fully behind it. But I think people who genuinely hated all the promo material for it won't enjoy it. They won't have their minds changed by it.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, does it sort of get what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, like, something you touched upon...
I'm paraphrasing there, so...
Something you touched upon in the review was the bit about... is it Leslie... What's her name?
Leslie Jones?
Yeah, Leslie Jones' character. You said that in the trailers she has a lot of, like...
Yeah, they show, like her most sort of dramatic parts.
Like, big moments where she's, like, shouting and slapping.
There's no, like,
downtime
downtime for that character in the...
Yeah, and, like... you then watch the film and you're like, oh, these moments happen because of this reason.
Yeah, there was reasoning behind those moments, which I liked, because it made sense in the context of the film, which I was worried it wouldn't.
So, like, I don't really know how well that statement stands up, because if you have seen the trailers and dislike that, you might be turned around on it, because I think it was quite good in that. I don't know if I'm explaining that right.
No, I get what you mean, because we sort of had our minds changed.
Yeah.
So whilst there was moments where, like, I wouldn't say... we didn't hate the film to go in with, but I think if you did, you probably wouldn't come out loving the film. I think it's those two sort of extremes. You're not going to have that changed.
Yeah, because we were like, we were pleasantly surprised that one character was into Chris
Hemsworth and stuff like that. Yeah, there were definitely things about the movie that were good.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, we're going to try and do what we did with the Civil War.
Maybe not as long as that one, because that was
because we remembered everything. Like, I'd seen it 3 times by the time I think we got around to doing that.
Yeah, I think I'd seen it twice at that point.
And we knew all of the Russian words in Russian.
We could actually say them backwards in Russian as well.
We could, and no one would be able to disprove us because it's not out yet.
Exactly.
so no one would know.
Blah, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
terrifying. The fact that
you need to turn off the screensaver. I think
that's we'll struggle through today.
Yeah, we'll do it.
So the opening scene is this tour going on in this haunted manor. Which was very believable. Like, people do that. People do tours of, like, scary places. And, like, the most haunted pub in Britain has a tour.
Yeah.
So
for some reason.
Yeah, that was believable.
Oh, you can't see the ghosts.
Yeah, and like the candle falling off was like spooky.
Yeah.
But then it was explained, which was cool. But that was like very believable. Like, that set up that I really sort of enjoyed that. I think maybe. It was basically what the 84 version did.
Right.
But it went on a little bit too long.
Yeah.
So the 84 version is this woman in the library, and she's looking around and things are going on behind her. She runs away from the spooky letters that are coming out of the drawers.
Which looks amazing.
Which looks really impressive. And then she sees the ghost, screams, and that's cut to the black. Which is kind of what happens in this one. Yeah. But it just felt like it went on a little more and more extreme things happened.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of... I think in the original, the comedy in that scene came from the ghosty stuff.
I just realised if I itch my nuts on this, they can see it.
Yeah.
Because I just did it and I was like, oh no.
I've been
I'm gonna...
Caught nut-handed.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's so much pressure.
Woo! You got to think about how you look all the time.
Throughout all my notes, I've written like reminiscent of 89. Yeah. It's different to 89. It came out in 84. It came out in 84. What am I doing?
No.
It's bad.
But no, yeah. The opening to the original, the sort of comedy in that opening scene came from just like, oh, ghost or whatever. Like, oh, she's scared and all this crazy silly stuff happens. And there's not really even that much comedy in it. But then in this one, it's just this like wisecracking guy giving a talk.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you idiot. Like when he runs downstairs, the door shuts, he's like, oh, Craig, you're so stupid or whatever his line is.
And there's just a bunch of stupid stuff like that.
I think the only thing that I would have been... Because, like, the librarian in the 84 version, she sees things which could potentially be explained by something else.
Right.
So, like, the letters thing, that could just be someone being like, oh, we've set up this thing and it's very funny.
Yeah.
And then she sees the ghost, she's like, there's no turning back from this. Whereas he, in this version, I think I'd be fine with it if he didn't get picked up and thrown at the wall.
Right.
And then, like, throw the chair stops mid-air and goes back at him or whatever.
Yeah.
I think if he, like, threw out the window and the window just recoiled and, like, nothing happened.
Right.
There was too much sort of paranormal, like, unexplainable stuff going on.
Yeah, straight up.
Straight up out there.
So it couldn't be like, oh, we could explain like this.
Yeah, so, like, the
Ghostbusters.
librarian's presumed to be crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas he's thrown into the wall, smashes this painting, tries to throw in a chair, the chair comes back.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
if you explain that to anyone, you'd be...
You couldn't dismiss it as
Yeah.
craziness because it, like, it's too
Yeah, I think it was...
out there.
I think it was just too... Yeah, I put a little over the top. But yeah, it's set out quite well. It's paced well, I thought.
Yeah.
Like, you had that sort of thing at the beginning, and then, like, it kind of... Now I'm locking up, oh, I'll pick that thing up, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then it was like... Yeah, I just think it went on a little.
About the chair throw, that was really weird because the sort of angle that he threw the chair, it was gonna just land on the floor anyway.
Yeah, like...
It was like already curving down.
He didn't go up to the window.
No, he just picked it up and went, ugh, and it didn't go anywhere.
He also apologised to like the dude whose house it was. He was
Yeah.
like, "Sorry, Bartholomew." Or
Yeah, whatever
like,
his name
the
was.
old owner was.
Yeah. I don't know. It just struck. It was just like this. Is that a joke? Like he couldn't throw it far enough. Like it was a dweeb or something.
I know, but it wasn't. It wasn't like paid off as a joke.
No. It just sort of happened.
Yeah.
Like they just filmed it that way or whatever.
But then we then get the song. We are
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Which of course in the original played for like almost the entirety of
Well, I don't think it played at the. It might have played at the beginning of the movie, but then it also plays during their like first job.
Yeah.
So we sort of get this song. And it's like setting up a franchise. But in this one, you get
Classic.
who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. There's if it's something strange, and then it fades out, which just feels like lazy editing.
Yeah.
Like just edit together like the last chorus into the end of the song or whatever.
Or make the cuts a bit more concise and finish it at the end.
Yeah, and just be like Ghostbusters into the film.
She's in the room.
Yeah,
and,
like
doing
oh,
her
actually,
thing.
that's a good question, Jeremy, or whatever the line was. Like,
Equation. Blah, 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 blah.
nervous, and then she starts doing that weird arm swing thing,
Yeah.
which felt really weird.
And then like it cuts, but her mouth isn't moving, and she starts saying. The
Yeah,
next
Kristen
line.
Wiig's character is the least compelling character in the film.
Yeah,
Because it's
she's
all
like,
over the place.
Yeah, she's supposed to be almost the protagonist or a main character.
Yeah, she's the first character you meet, and she's sort of the down to earth one that isn't Patty.
Yeah.
She's basically the Bill Murray.
Yeah.
She's the equivalent to Bill Murray.
Yeah, she is kind of the equivalent because I suppose.
So, like, you can't really compare the old roles to the new roles,
No.
but like
If
Bill
you had
Murray's
to-
kind of the main Ghostbuster.
So Kristen Wiig kind of feels
Yeah,
that.
she's the
main-
person you're seeing all this through.
Yeah. Except obviously in the original, they're like, oh, ghosts right from the get go, and she has to be reintroduced to that, which just takes up time.
Yeah.
Which I
remember here. I must have stopped writing things just because I didn't want to write like about everything. But then after that, we find out that she wrote a book about paranormal.
Yeah.
Which I think actually published. I think you can actually buy that.
No way, really.
But I think like on the book, it's like, so it's the cover from the film.
But then it says.
But it's sort of like got a rip in it and like the Ghostbusters signal behind it, so you know it's not like a serious book.
The book from the Ghostbusters.
Yeah. But I think you can actually buy that. But there's a line in that conversation where he's like, it's like, are you Erin Stoltz or whatever her name is? And she's like, no, that's not me. And it's like, you sure? It looks like you. It's like, okay, yeah, it's me, but we wrote this as like a piss take. And he's like, the first line is, this is not a joke. I was like, that's just too far. Like, that's not...
Yeah, it was kind of funny, but it was a forced joke.
Yeah.
It was an easy joke.
Yeah, it was
like,
just staring you straight in the face.
Yeah. Like she says something.
I kind of hoped it was like
contradicts.
improv. I hope that was just an ad lib he did.
I'm sure.
But I feel like it was in the script.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes, isn't it?
But yeah, then we find out that she's up for tenure. And she's on Amazon, and we're introduced to Melissa McCarthy's character via Amazon.
Via Amazon, yeah.
Which felt
Weirdest
annoying
debut.
because she like clicked onto the next picture, and instead of just like hovering on that so we could be like, oh, her name's Abby. Oh, okay. She won't. She just went. She clicked on it and went, Abby. And it was like, okay, so this is Abby.
Yeah.
Like, here we go. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I believe that. I can believe that kind of thing. Like, oh, Abby.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know. I can see myself going no. When you put my
when
book
I put this video up
Yeah.
without your consent.
yeah, I didn't even know we were recording.
No.
I had no idea.
There's a camera. It's like fake taxi.
It is. Yeah.
There's a camera up there above.
Allegedly, yeah. It's fake taxi.
But we'll blow out one of our faces. We watch porn.
Yeah.
I better hear it. So yeah, we get introduced to Melissa McCarthy,
Yeah.
and she goes to her
You've
university.
completely lost.
She goes into a university. It's because I'm off the notes because I missed the whole bit.
Yeah.
So she goes into a university, and then there's quite a funny bit where she goes Aaron, and she looks back and goes Abby, and then the delivery guy steps out and goes Benny. I know who you are. It's like, I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah, and the bit with like, can you show her the door? And he's like, you know where it is. You just walked in.
It was the door he came through. I know. No, I'm not going. I tried half-heartedly. That was quite funny.
Yeah. This is also the scene when we got introduced to the soup joke, which is just...
The soup joke falls flat. The soup joke shouldn't have made the final cut. It was pointless.
Why is
It
there
was
a soup
fine
joke?
for like...
For 2 mentions. But they mentioned it like 4 times.
It would have been funny if it wasn't like, why is there not an extra piece of chicken in my... whatever. It should have just been, it took you an hour. Why did it take so long? I'm sorry, I had to do... And then it should have been, I live upstairs now. How does it take an hour?
Yeah.
Those are the only bits you needed.
That would have been...
Because that was fun. Like, the bit where she's like, I literally live above you. How does it take an hour to walk up a flight of stairs? And he was like, I have bad legs. It was like, well, that was funny.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about the fucking soup just
There's too
was
much
not needed.
chicken in it now or something.
All I'm looking for is a healthy ratio. No one cares.
No one cares.
Fuck off with your
It's
soup.
Stupid soup. But then there was this like weird heartfelt moment later when they were at the machine and she was like, there's so many things in life to live for. Like soup. Like...
Or... It's like, no
one
one gives
salad.
a fuck about your soup!
Yeah, but it didn't even feel like it was a joke. It was just like, oh, are we supposed to care that her character arc is about soup or something? It was really weird. No one wants soupy chicken character arcs or whatever.
Oh my days. It was annoying. I was enraged by that.
Yeah. Goddamn soup.
Fucking soup, man.
Should have called the review So Much Soup.
Too much soup!
All of the soup. That'll be our watch along caption.
But then we're also introduced to Kate McKinnon's character.
Yes.
Who is probably our favourite Ghostbusting character.
Yeah.
But our second favourite maybe in the movie? After
Chris
Kevin?
Oh yeah. I think so. Yeah. Because she's just got some of the best lines.
Yeah, and she was the most sort of consistent with her character.
Yeah.
I think it would go Hemsworth, her, Leslie Jones.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And then
maybe McCarthy, then Wig.
Yeah. But even McCarthy, nothing amazed me about McCarthy.
No, she's just sort of regular. I know that sounds weird, but like...
Well, the thing is,
really
McCarthy's often like the larger than life character, and in this she was very underplayed. She was the straight man, which was a nice change.
Yeah, switching up her roles a bit, you know.
But then there was also that weird bit with the proton pack that flew over the place.
Yeah,
which was
slapstick.
too long.
Yeah.
Like her firing it, getting shot back, and then just sort of lying there like would have been enough.
Yeah.
But then they send her up, and she's like,
it's like wrangling a crocodile or something.
I was like, I don't give a fuck.
It's kind of funny, but it doesn't really fit this film.
Yeah, like it should have just been anyway.
Or if they did do that, it should have come back later as some kind of Chekhov's gun. Like, we need to get up there! You know, like, that would have been cool.
But yeah...
That was good synchronised flying there.
But yeah, I then wrote fart joke 1, because I was going to count how many fart jokes were in the movie.
But there were only one.
But there was only one. But then I wrote fart joke 1, then crossed out fart and wrote queef joke. Because it turned out to be a queef joke.
Because they were like, oh, listen to this. That was from the front. Oh.
Yeah, would it be more gross if I told you it was from the front? Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, that's
nice.
That's the type of movie we're watching.
Yeah, woo! But then, like, it didn't come back ever again after that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Believable characters.
Most believable character is Melissa McCarthy. I wrote least, then crossed it out and wrote most. I don't know. I think she was the most down to earth. Like, she was the most believable character, but she was the least compelling. I don't know. She was the least interesting character. She didn't really have anything about her. No. I don't know what I meant by that.
It was just kind of, she knew Wig in the past, and, she was the only person that believed her and all that stuff, which was nice, but I don't know, just everyone else was more interesting.
Yeah.
She suffered from the fact that everyone else around her was more interesting. Yeah,
had something else.
Yeah. There was almost like everyone had a gimmick or something. Yeah. Like everyone kind of had.
I felt like she was trying to have a gimmick, but there wasn't anything to gimmick. Like, the soup thing was her gimmick.
Well, the thing is, you're introduced to her as, like, almost as if she was the crazy scientist. Like, she walks into the room, she's got the helmet on.
And she's like...
Yeah, she's like Doc. She's Doc from Back to the Future.
Or like
she just lost it,
Or like Edward Nygma in Batman.
Yeah. Just that kind of...
Like crazy
craze to it, and like, oh, I believe in ghosts, and all this stuff.
Yeah. Whoa!
Yeah, and then
we gotta go, Morty, Morty, we gotta go, Morty.
Oh jeez, man.
We gotta go, Morty, busting the ghost, Morty.
Jeez, Rick.
But yeah,
and then the next scene, she just,
there's
just
nothing.
Lost
After that, there was nothing to her.
Yeah, she suddenly became like, oh, he'll put his middle fingers up now, and then all this
that was an okay scene.
I quite like that scene because it's just the
it was Higgins from Jimmy Fallon show.
Was it really?
Yeah. Oh. Do you ever watch like the Jimmy Fallon
stuff on YouTube? Sometimes.
He's usually seen in like the thank you notes. Like they do a bit of back and forth during his like thank you notes. Where he writes dear Budweiser, thank you for making me realise that beer doesn't taste good or whatever. And then they have a bit of banter. But he's sort of the co-host of the Jimmy Fallon show, which was cool. Cool. I sort of saw him and I was like, it's Higgins. But yeah, no. Before that, they go to the haunted house. Yeah. And we see a ghost.
Yeah, this was an odd scene because we were discussing this before we recorded the review. Their reactions to seeing a ghost for the first time in their life, not Wig had seen one, we established that later, but like the other two hadn't actually seen a ghost. And they finally see one and it was just, they didn't react enough.
Yeah, she was just standing in Pringles, which was a funny line.
Yeah, that was like early...
Funny? That was too early for a character to...
Yeah, to suddenly...
Because she had a funny bit where she was like, is it uncomfortable to walk in those shoes? Leave me alone.
Yeah, that was funny.
Where did you find the world's tiniest bow tie? It came with the shirt.
Like a really loud laugh.
Those were really funny. There were definitely people who were laughing too much when we saw it. Yeah. Did you find that? I was like, shut up.
Yeah, there were certain jokes like that weren't... Well, we did find them funny, but anyone can laugh at anything. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the fact that they sort of established there's a machine quite early on in the film, but you don't know.
They didn't answer the question straight up. Like, no. Machine. Like,
but yeah, I then wrote editing's bad. Because this scene was the moment where I was like, the editing in this movie hasn't had a lot of thought put behind it. Yeah. Because the bit that stood out to me was Melissa McCarthy is filming Kristen. So in the trailer, obviously, you get Kristen Wiig getting slimed on by this evil lady of the house, Ghost. Yeah. And Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy's filming the whole thing on this little handheld portable camera, and she's looking up at the ghost, and she looks at Kristen Wiig as she's getting slimed. Right. But then after that, she's still filming Kristen Wiig, but it shows footage from the camera, like with the little rec and like the minutes they've been recording. But it's of the ghost, and it cuts back, and it's her filming Kristen Wiig again. Oh, right. So that the continuity. Yeah, that just really got my tits. Like, just film Kristen Wiig, like, or just film up at the ghost. Like, make your mind up, because that to me was just like, look, we've got this B camera footage. Should we try and use it? Yeah, just put it in as what she was filming. Yeah, but what about? No, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about the continuity. No one cares.
Which just gets on my nerves in the movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, it comes back again to what I was saying earlier about like, when we first introduced the Wig's character and like the audio's off with what she's saying, and, like different shots, different audio. Yeah, there's a lot of weird editing ideas in this film.
And also, like, this is less to do with the editing, more just to do with the footage they have. But after she got slimed, like the level of slime she had on her changed,
was inconsistent,
like between shots and stuff.
Which I can understand when you're filming on set.
It's hard to do.
It's hard to do. Another thing that I thought of actually after we filmed the review, I was trying to remember what other things bugged me about the continuity. The scene from the trailer where Leslie Jones' character has the dragon on her shoulders.
Yeah.
That scene, or rather that sequence in the scene, is sort of preceded by something that doesn't actually make sense continuity-wise. So, like, it goes from the whole, like, oh, I'll jump on...
I don't know if it was a lady thing or a black thing, but I'm pissed.
Yeah, and then it cuts to someone else doing a reaction face, and then it just cuts straight back to her, and she's stood up and just has it on her shoulders. Like, there's no kind of... She's on the floor, and then it's on her back, and it's like, what? There was...
It should have, like, picked her up or something, and got onto her feet, and then for her to just be like, nope.
No.
Nuh-uh.
Just going home. Just don't tell me.
No, I don't need to know.
Yeah.
Don't say a thing. Just gonna go home. I'm tired.
But there was like none of that, and it just sort of...
Yeah, no, I get what you mean now.
There's a thing on your shoulder. Like, oh,
like how did it land on her shoulders while she was getting up? Like, yeah,
I guess when editing it, they wanted to go for the surprise of, oh, it's on her shoulders. But they couldn't figure out how to get from the joke of her being on the floor and not caught to then having this dragon on her shoulders.
I just saw that you have a Pepsi can. We could have covered it with that.
Oh, we could have, yeah.
But we only have one.
But
so
you can't see that.
You missed that conversation as well. That's just me talking to Sam.
Tangents, right there.
Let's see.
What we should be famous for.
So yeah, I then wrote like Wig's character is inconsistent, like mainly in like the confidence she has. She goes from being like really like shy and like, okay, yeah, and then she goes to, I believe in ghosts and all this shit. It's like, no. And that's I think, not your character. That's not what you do.
Yeah, I think with that they were trying to go for the whole like, you know, she's tried to suppress herself all her life.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she gets back with her old sort of mates, and then it's like back into ghosts again. But you couldn't. I didn't feel it
without the storyline of her neighbour standing out of bed.
It was just like.
It felt weird. It felt like they were just going for a joke, like the YouTube joke. Like the way he's watching that on YouTube. Yeah. But from the moment she started screaming, I was like, this is going to be put on YouTube and she's going to lose her tenure because of this. Yeah. And I was like, shut up. Like,
which is funny, actually, because then Tywin Lannister, the old man that fired her...
Oh, yeah. I knew him from somewhere, but I've never seen Game of Thrones, so I couldn't put my...
He then was like, yeah, this video was posted on Reddit to where it then got reblogged everywhere else and became famous.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's how the Stan Lee theory
took off.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So I was like,
that's why they said it.
Shout out to Reddit, you know.
That's why they said it.
The movie studios are recognising that Reddit is like this amazingly helpful place.
It's a natural thing. Yeah.
Influence.
I then put Melissa McCarthy. A lot of her lines felt like they were just delivered in like one tone. Yeah. So we're going to go over here, and then we're going to do this. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't be saying about this, Patrick Swayze and Ghost. It was just like, just act.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, you're supposed to be this insane like.
Kevin, answer the phone.
Yeah, like. Yeah. Anyway.
Melissa.
I put
McCarthy.
I put the bit where they sort of get fired. Like that scene just felt fully improvised.
Yeah.
With the flipping of the bird thing, that just felt fully improvised, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the rarest scenes in this film that like I could tell was improv.
But then you enjoyed. Yeah. I think maybe they probably fed them the idea of like, do the middle finger thing.
Yeah.
But then everything else play off.
But I felt like there's like a 15-minute gag reel of him doing various different.
I hope so.
Middle finger things.
Yeah. That's his like party trick that he wanted to show off for years.
Well, he's really good at like voices.
Oh.
So he's like, oh, it's a bird.
Yeah.
So like
they had a baby.
Oh, I caught it. So like
that was great.
So it's using his comedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they couldn't take that too far, obviously, because like that's him as a comedian, not him as the character.
Restricted screen time as well.
Yeah. But yeah, I reckon on the sort of bonus features, there'll be like a whole section just of all the takes he did of that.
Yeah, I hope so. That would be good.
I was kind of hoping it would be in like the after credits or something, like a gag reel playing during the
just middle fingers galore.
They're not out to catch ghosts; they're out to prove ghosts, which is what we put in.
Should we talk a bit about that? Just sort
of
explain a little bit.
Well, we sort of explained the review, but we will recap for you, lovely listeners / watchers this time. If we upload the watching.
So we sort of kind of realised that maybe in this film, the motivation, instead of like, in the original Ghostbusters, they wanted to just, we'll capture ghosts and do science and
ghosts
stuff.
are a problem, we've got to just control them.
Whereas in this one, it was kind of like they wanted to prove to the world that they weren't crazy and the ghost existed.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of the primary motivation for Wig's character was, I saw a ghost as a kid, ended up going to therapy because no one believed me, so now we must prove to the world that they exist.
But then they find out that ghosts aren't really real. In a way.
How do you mean?
Well, because ghosts only exist because of this machine.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, I mean, ghosts exist, but the machine is making them appear more or something. Yeah. I think. Because there was a dimension of ghosts.
Yeah.
He was,
He spread the crack in the wall or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that I put... So this is the first scene we're introduced to Patty, who's played by Leslie Jones. Who's very funny. She's like trying to speak to people on the subway, which I really like.
Yeah, she's like, nice to see you. Because like everyone's rude.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like...
Well, everyone's just going somewhere.
Yeah, everyone's doing their commute and she's trying to... You're in this booth and you're just like, what
hey, have a nice day. I really like your jacket. Oh, it's a jumper, I'm sorry. that cracked me up. I thought that was really funny. But no one else sort of laughed in the cinema. I thought it was really funny.
Again, it feels like an ad-lib line.
Yeah.
I think, like, kind of, yeah.
I feel like that was just a genuine mistake she made.
Yeah. But that's kind of funny. We'll keep it in.
But yeah, and then I put... So this is what I wrote whilst...
That's the fridge making a noise, if you can hear that.
Yeah, this is what I wrote as it was happening. I put, oh, look, a bad guy. Oh, look, a device. Oh, look, a ghost. Oh, look, that's why he's bad. Like, it was very sort of just like, hey, here's all the things.
Yeah, it was run-of-the-mill villain, wasn't it? It was like, you knew straight away he was like the kind of vaguely creepy guy and did all the things. The thing about that scene that bothered me is, why was she as like some kind of booth person? She followed him with a torch onto the tracks instead of calling security.
Well, I thought she was just going to be like, not another one. He's going down to commit suicide.
Yeah.
But then she went down and she was like, there's a toilet up here, you know. I was like...
Yeah.
It would have been funnier if she was like, look, we get this all the time. Can you not kill yourself here? Jump off the... Go jump off the bridge or something.
Oh my god. That would have been a bit dark. Maybe that was what they were going for.
Well, that's what
I feel like an executive was probably like, don't do a suicide joke. You know, like, you could do all these other things. Don't do a suicide joke.
I feel like that's the sort of line that this movie was afraid to cross.
Yeah.
That, like, the original one would have just been like, suicide.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's just, like, times, like, the sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that...
But why did she follow him on
no one knows. So yeah, after that we see our second ghost, who's a sort of execution victim.
Yeah.
With red eyes or something.
Yeah. And she sort of explains to the Ghostbusters... are we that far yet?
We've only got a few things, and then we're there.
All right. Well, because it's sort of like their explanation, or she sort of, I can't remember if this was a joke, but she sort of says like,
I thought it was funny, but it didn't feel like a joke.
Yeah, but they tried to electric chair him, but it cost too much.
Yeah, there wasn't enough electricity.
Yeah, so they just shot him instead. Like, it was kind of funny. Just how,
it made me laugh. Just the thought of it was
we're losing too much money on all these people. Just shoot them or whatever.
But shoot them whilst they're getting electrocuted, which was what I like. Just the image of that is funny to me. Yeah. So yeah, they go to the fire station, the famous fire station.
Oh yeah, this is a great idea. I like this.
But that annoyed me because she goes, they all just go, this place is perfect. Yeah. This is what we need. Yeah. Which I'm like, okay. However,
but
in the 1984 one, Egon and Venkman are sort of both like, this place isn't what we need. It doesn't have enough electricity. It doesn't have enough space. We don't have the equipment we need. Won't fit here and whatever.
Yeah.
They find all these faults with it, and then like Dan Aykroyd's like, "We'll take it." And he uses like the fireman pole.
Yeah.
Whereas all of them were like, "This is the best place in the world." I'm not like, I don't know. It just felt like it was annoying to me just because it was never perfect. It was never the perfect building.
Yeah.
It was just iconic.
Well, I think the joke they were going... It's almost the reverse joke.
Yeah, it was fine.
So it's the reverse joke being, instead of, it's shit, but we'll take it. It's perfect, but it's literally... in
we
New
can't
York,
take it.
yeah, because New York, like the cost for things
Yeah.
in New York is ridiculous. Like for 1 meter of space in Manhattan, you'd have to pay so much.
Like,
So yeah, it's realistic that she'd be like
basically, that's just me.
$12,000. Like,
This is just me being an asshole and being unable to sort of disconnect the two movies.
yeah. But I
Which-
think it's a modern version of doing that. I think.
Yeah, which is like I'm fine with it. Whatever, like it's fine. But I did like the bit where she's like, "It's only $22,000 a month." It's like, "Fuck off," or whatever she said.
Go to hell.
Yeah, it's like, go to hell. It's like, what? Oh, I'm sorry, but did you say 20?
Yeah.
So yeah, that made me laugh. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think it's cool because it's a different twist on it. Because then the end of the film, it's almost. This is basically an origin story.
Yeah.
Whereas the original Ghostbusters was just like, oh,
It wasn't
Ghostbusters
was the origin
are a
of the
thing.
Ghostbusters, but not the origin of them as a team.
Yeah, it was just sort of, oh, they did a thing and
Yeah.
whatever. But like this is the end of the film is you've now got your actual base. Like,
Yeah, this is you can
you
now
can have
be the Ghostbusters
we'll pay
for
for
real.
it. Like yeah,
So
it's just a different take.
then they go to the Chinese restaurant. And they move in above the Chinese restaurant, and we get.
Which is a good setting. I kind of prefer it to the fire station, in a way. Well, because it's different, and it just had a unique look to it.
Yeah, I preferred it in this film. I preferred it in this film. Like, it would have annoyed me if they were in the fire station from the beginning, because I would have been like,
Yeah.
But I'm glad they're now in the fire station.
Yeah, I'm happy with them for one film being
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
place. But it was just fun, like, oh, there's someone waiting for you in booth 1, and it's just
Yeah.
like obviously it's a restaurant, so you just have like a table.
Yeah, it was
and there's
it was
Leslie
funny.
Jones doing
It was
whatever.
like-
Like,
it was a good sort of scenery for some of the comedy and stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, like we said, we're sort of glad it was just limited to one movie.
yeah.
But yeah, and then we get this weird lip syncing scene where she's singing along to like
Yeah, which actor is it? I forget her
it's
name.
Kate McCann.
Kate McKinnon.
Which is part of her character, and she like sets fire to something, and then like, puts out like to the tone of the music and stuff, which was fine, but it just felt really weird.
It just came out of nowhere because it was. I guess it was the montage of we're moving in
Because it was just
yeah.
after what should have been the end of the soup gag.
Yeah.
So Melissa McCarthy has just got her soup after
Yeah,
an
yeah.
hour of ordering it or whatever, even though just go downstairs and pick it up.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah. And then we get this weird like
Yeah, I can't remember what song it
No.
was, but McKinnon's character just starts singing. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it, but it went on for far too long.
Oh, yeah.
And then she got like the blowtorches.
Then there was like a joke after it where she was like Melissa McCarthy walked in and said like the name of like an artist.
Yeah. And
But,
she was like,
but it was like it had like a double meaning, and then she went, "Oh, was that him or was that this?" Which didn't land with anyone.
no, probably a very American joke, maybe.
Maybe.
Like a sort of American band that we were not aware of. I don't know. Maybe someone we were aware of. I
Yeah, I
can't
don't
remember.
know.
But yeah, I feel like that joke has been done in other films much better,
Yeah,
where someone's singing along and then someone's reacting and saying like one-liners as they do it. Whereas this, it was just like, oh, don't turn on the fire. Oh, and now you've actually burnt something, and
yeah.
it was just.
It was her
kinda-
trying to be like, "Oh, and now we're dancing."
Yeah, it was that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Watch out! Okay.
it's on fire
So
now.
no, spray it at that. Like
And then she's like dancing.
it was her
with the
trying to
fire
be funny,
extinguisher,
but like it just it didn't land. I think it's just been done to death.
Yeah, it was cool, I suppose, but not like it didn't land. The
Yeah, it
joke
wasn't
didn't
great.
land. Oh, the hat's back on. Things are getting serious.
Yeah, we're about to get to Hemsworth, so I'm getting ready.
I'm
But
sorry
before
if
that,
I'm leaning a lot. I'm just sort of doing this. So I'm
you're
just
leaning
like,
in shot, so that's fine.
Yes, there is a thing here. I'm not just floating.
I'm taking on the map. But yeah, so then we get a bit of slogan banter, where she's trying to figure out a slogan,
It's like a terrorist.
and it's like
thing.
if you see
I
if you
can't.
see something, call us or whatever.
Yeah, it was like the anti-terrorism
Yeah, and she's
slogan.
like, "Oh, it's good, but I think it's the anti." And she's like, "Oh yeah."
That
And
explains why we keep getting all these calls about loose
Loose
packaging. Packages.
And then we get the introduction to Kevin, where she's like, "Huh, you're hired." And then Melissa McCarthy walks back in and goes, "I've got another one. If there's something strange, and you, who are you?" And like,
Yeah.
that was a nice little throwaway, like whatever.
Well, because actually earlier on in the film, there's the
Who are you gonna call?
ghost jumpers
jumper,
or something
yeah.
like, or what, runners. I don't
I
know.
don't know, but yeah,
It's
it was
like,
like
"Ghost jumpers!" It's
like a
like-
ghost hunter show, like
Yeah.
spoof, like satire show or whatever. But yeah,
Because she was like, "Who are you gonna call?" And then
yeah, who are they gonna call?
Ghost jumpers.
Which was funny, like that landed well enough for me. I thought that was.
Yeah.
They didn't do it too much,
No.
which was like, yeah. And then we get Hemsworth being fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh my god.
The whole bit with the glasses.
Yeah.
Where he's like, it's like, I got a question. Why no glasses? Like, they just kept getting dirty. So I took them out.
So I took them
I can
out.
also just itch my eye. it's like, what the fuck is happening?
And then what was the thing, like, he was going to cover his ears.
Yeah, it's like...
But
it's
something
like,
was too loud.
Yeah, don't listen. And he just went, okay.
Okay.
Oh, he's covering his eyes. Did you know, an aquarium's a submarine for fish?
Yeah, oh,
that is the best line of the whole film.
Submarine for fish.
Cracked me the fuck. I laughed for like a good 10 minutes when I first saw that.
Because it came out of nowhere. Because they're all just having this discussion. It just cuts back to him and he goes...
Because he's like trying to get into the aquarium.
Yeah.
You know, aquarium's a submarine for fish.
Submarine for fish. He is perfect in that role.
Apparently he's really good at just the whole improv thing.
Oh,
Apparently
right,
he's just really funny.
Well, if you ever watch him in interviews... I watched a bunch of interviews with him and Chris Evans.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've only really seen any with Chris Evans.
When they were doing the Age of Ultron sort of press run. And some of the stuff he says there, like, it's on the cuff.
Well,
I
think he came up with the whole, like, who's the best Chris in the MCU.
Oh, right.
Because, like, Chris Pratt, Chris Evans, and
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth. And, like, he's just very funny, apparently. And apparently when Melissa McCarthy first met him, she was, like, surprised at how funny he is.
Yeah.
Like, because no one told him. They just all sort of went, yeah, he's a really attractive, hunky guy. And no one just mentioned how funny he is in real life. Which is really cool.
My favourite moment for one of the press tour things he did, with, they were like, so how did you film the scene where you're all trying to pick up the hammer? And Chris Evans was like, well, they just couldn't lift it. we were going to do it where everyone lifted it, like, yeah, we're superheroes, we're all worthy, but they just couldn't lift it. So we changed it for that. It's just hilarious.
He's great. I do like it. He just seems like a really nice guy.
He is, yeah.
I'd like to see him do an interview with, like, his brothers as well.
Yeah.
Because apparently they're really, like, competitive and stuff.
The banter has got to be great between
I
them.
reckon they're really funny.
I've, like, never seen them in the same room. Ever.
Me neither.
Maybe they're the same person.
They could have. Well, we get confused as to who's who, admittedly. Yeah. So then we get this weird sort of Kristen Wiig hitting on him, and it's really obvious, and like the other characters sort of try to acknowledge it, but it feels weird.
Yeah, it's like they're kind of toning it out and then acknowledging. I don't know. It's weird. Like you can't tell if they're aware, but then they are, and then they're not.
Yeah. Were you slightly relieved when he was like, oh, I've got all these designs for the logo.
Yeah.
And then it was like, is it the boobs? I can make them bigger. And then like he skipped to the next one, and it wasn't just the logo. I was really relieved.
Yeah, I was happy that he didn't actually design it. It was.
It was like the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
And there was a house with a hot dog above it.
It's like, oh yeah, because it's a ghost and you can't see
ghost
it.
holding a hot dog. Wow. I love it. I've got more.
Yeah, like,
I hope there's loads more.
I hope so.
I hope there's like 100 more.
Well, I hope they just gave him images that he wasn't expecting and then had to improv what it was. Oh, that would be so good.
I think that already exists. What, 711? so stupid.
But then the origin of the logo ended up being a graffiti artist.
Yeah, which was... Well, it was like, have you seen a ghost? Yeah, what did it look like? No ghost?
Yeah, we don't want ghosts. Like, don't spray ghosts. It's like, okay, and then
no ghosts. And then he leaves, and then it's like, is it me or would that make a good logo?
She didn't have to say that.
She didn't have to say a line.
It could have just been like, huh.
She could have just taken a picture of it.
Yeah. And then the reveal.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the first time we see the logo was on the side of the car anyway. So she could have taken a picture of it, drove up, and someone went, what the fuck's that? And for her to go, it looked nice. Cool. Like, whatever. But, yeah, they didn't do that. Then, like, she explained, she goes, have you... They meet the artist.
Yeah.
And then she put... Then Melissa McCarthy turns to him and goes, have you seen a class 4 vaporation? Like, which was really odd. And then Kristen Wiig just went, have you seen a ghost? And she went, yeah, that makes more sense. Which is like, no human being would just...
Yeah.
You'd say ghost.
Well, they were trying to do the whole joke of like, she's the one that's inept socially, I suppose.
Yeah, but she
wasn't.
No.
I don't know. She was like, have you seen... I can't think of other examples from other films.
Because she even goes, oh, I'm trying to say it in Leighton terms.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Are you?
Yeah.
Look at graffiti.
That was another recurring joke that didn't also land, was that whole, like, have you seen a Type 7, whatever, blah, 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 ghost? Because then, like, the cameo in the taxi, he says it, and, like...
Well, no, that was... That was fine. It was a bit out of character for Dan Aykroyd, like,
Yeah.
because I mean, he's not supposed to be a Ghostbuster. He's not really supposed to know anything about it. So for him to just sit around and go, no, it's just a couple of type 4 vaporations. It's fine. We'll be fine.
We're okay.
That was weird.
Yeah, weird.
But yeah, and then let's test ghosts when trains coming.
Yeah.
Like that was
Like you couldn't wait because it was like, a train's due in a minute.
Yeah.
Wait
till it goes by and get another one. Like,
yeah, just
dickheads.
And then I kind of liked how we saw like a prototype power. What was it called?
Yeah, a power pack before they'd even used it, because she also had that at the house. Like where they first go.
Yeah, because like
that's consistent. They're constantly carrying around this.
Yeah,
bag.
and it's like it's on a it was on a trolley at first, and then she actually says at the end of the scene like, "Oh, I got to find a way to miniaturize it and make it more mobile," and then they're like, "Oh, we'll turn it into a backpack," which is I thought it's just a nice little.
Yeah, it was a cool like step by step into the final scene.
It's cool to see the progression of that technology, I suppose.
I then wrote they're going to take the ghost back to the lab with no trap. They didn't actually have a trap to put it in.
Yeah,
and they just go. We're going home.
Yeah, come on, guys!
Sticking out the side of a taxi, like.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
What would they have done? Exactly, I have no idea what they would have done.
Yeah, exactly.
That was really weird. Yeah.
They make a point of saying that the tracks are alive, but then Kristen Wiig falls over a trap in a skirt and her leg touches the track, which just annoyed me. I mean, she should be dead. And then like the ghost gets hit by a train, and there's a lot of slime that happens.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but the ghost then slams into the back door of the train, but doesn't go through all. Like goes through every other part of the train.
Yeah, it's like keeps slapping against it, and then.
So why can't it go through the back door?
I don't know. That is the setup for the sequel. Is the ghost train that the ghost carriage that it couldn't get through.
I don't know. They never figure out a way to keep ghosts trapped, which they actually don't until the very end of the film. They don't have anywhere to store the ghosts.
Yeah, so they just have to like keep making more of those
traps. Yeah, which is weird.
It's just weird. It's so weird because like
they're so unprepared.
But like the original film
just
was prepared with all this stuff. It was like I don't mean like production wise they were prepared. I mean story wise they just had their shit together. They had proton packs in it.
Yeah.
Proton packs, and then they got home and they're like, oh, we chuck it in this generator thing, and then I don't understand. Like there's neither is as good as the other for that. But they're very different approaches. Like one, you just chuck it in and explain it, and then
I never found myself going, where did they get all this stuff from in the original?
Yeah, they just sort of they're scientists.
But in this one, I'm finding myself going, what were they going to do with this?
Yeah.
So
like they're just figuring everything out as they go along.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
much more rustic, I suppose, in that sense.
And then put Patty's skill never comes into play, which we talk about in sort of depth in the review. So basically, she has this knowledge of the city.
Yeah, that's what she says she'll bring to the team.
Yeah,
right?
and a car.
And the car. Yeah.
But yeah, that's never used. It's never sort of brought up again until like the ley lines. But they've already figured out everything by the time she's like, oh, this building there was murders. It was a murder site before it was built.
Yeah.
But apart from that, she doesn't really bring anything to it.
Yeah. What we were saying in the review was like it would have been cool if, whilst there was all the panic and commotion at the end of the film, and everyone's running away from all the ghosts, if like she had been like, all right, I'll drive, or I'll tell you where to go, and like go down Main Street, down this side street, and like we can get past all these people this way. Instead, they just met a roadblock and they just stopped.
Yeah,
just like that.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, weird. There's 5 hot dog stands in the way for some reason,
and then
we can't get past.
Then Slimer just crashes through them without any sort of scratch on the car whatsoever.
Yeah, he just made a path for them for some reason.
And then put like science talk means nothing.
Yeah.
Like in the original, they'd have science conversations, and then like they'd all sort of go like, "Oh, okay," and then like Winston or whatever would just go, "What?" And then they'd like compare it to a Twinkie or whatever, and like there was always a joke made out of it. Was she'd just go, "We've got the flappity bloop blap bloop there with the flank thing ding ding dong dong."
Yeah, and then the other character would also get involved with that. Yeah. So you've got no window into what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
it was just weird.
It was really strange that they would just do that. Like, it just sort of... Yeah, it was odd.
And then put, why is there the slapstick proton pack?
Which we've sort of said about, I suppose. Yeah, just floating around and...
Was not needed.
Like wrangling a gator or whatever she said.
And then put, should have cut to black. Then there's the weird ghost story that Kristen Wiig tells that is sort of pointless and comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And doesn't go anywhere.
There was no joke to it. It was just purely trying to build character.
Yeah.
Like, it was a creepy story. I was pretty creeped out by it, like the idea of like the crazy old lady dies next door and then looks at you every night. And then it's kind of dark because she was like, and then I had to go to therapy and stuff because no one believed me. It's like she's had a tortured childhood.
Yeah, she's a sad human being.
Also, as the story went on, I was like, are they
Someone
going to
give
make a
her a
joke out
hug.
of it? Yeah, it was really weird. So I mean, you've got more in-depth character that is still inconsistent though. But
Then we get. Yeah, and after that we see the Ghostbusters, the train footage on the news.
Yeah.
And then they get named the Ghostbusters by the guys on the news. To me, that felt like that should have been like Jimmy Fallon.
Right.
Or like Jimmy Kimmel or
some kind of late night.
James Corden or whatever.
Yeah.
That should have been a late night TV show. Like, have you guys seen this? Like,
The Ghostbusters.
yeah.
Like, bunch of weirdos.
Yeah. They say they're the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Like, they got Higgins to be in the film.
Yeah.
They could have got Jimmy Fallon to be in the film. Like, because it would have just been in studio. It wouldn't have taken a lot.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the Fantastic Four movie where they were like, they're calling you the Fantastic Four. Like, okay, they've got their name now.
Ghostbusters felt like too much of a joke
Yeah.
for the news to just be making.
Yeah. Like, why would the news call them the Ghostbusters?
Why would the news also be showing this supposedly fake footage on the internet? Like,
I don't know. Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon could have been like, "You seen this new internet phase?" Like,
Yeah, it would have been a much better idea actually. Yeah.
But yeah, that was fine. But whatever.
Yeah, it would have been definitely done for more laughs.
We then get called to the theatre where the ghost is. With the first time we see them suit up.
Yeah, we get a cool montage like
to Not Afraid by Fall Out Boy and Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna call? I'm not afraid, not afraid. Which is an okay song. It's like a weird, like, kind of remix to the original. But it's Fall Out Boy. It does what it does. But yeah, it kind of worked for the film.
Yeah,
I got a little bit hyped. I was like, actually, this works a little.
They're gonna go do some Ghostbusters.
My Patty's like, oh, by the way, we're not getting slimed again. Here's some overalls. Bam, bam. So yeah, that was fine.
Yeah.
There's quite a few funny bits where in the lower where they're underground looking for the ghost. Like, especially Leslie Jones has some very funny bits in that where she's like, it's like, I thought it'd be like a book club. I thought I'd just listen to some Diana Ross and have a few drinks. It's like, goes into the mannequin room, it's like, nope, room full of nightmares, I'm not going in there.
That was the best bit of the whole film. Just like mannequins in the dark. So, nope,
room full of nightmares. Was that mannequin there before? If you answer me, I swear to God.
She definitely had some of the best stuff.
She knew like what the tone of the movie should be.
Yeah. Like, it was almost aware of the movie you're in, kind of thing. Like, and that was a creepy mannequin.
Oh yeah.
It was kind of iRobot. It was kind of like that weird.
Like Sonny and yeah. I get what you mean.
Like creepily real.
Or like
sort of,
or like Ultron, but like first stage Ultron, where it crashes the pilot.
Yeah.
Sort of jolty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really works.
I just thought it was really funny that when they destroyed the mannequin, the ghost that inhabited it was like huge. It was the dragon, yeah. It was just like a little tiny thing. Pop! Massive dragon! It was like...
Massive colossal power!
Yeah.
Teeny weeny little liver bits.
Yeah, it was weird. But it's kind of cool because it's a ghost, I guess.
Yeah, it can embody anything, I guess. But yeah, I went mannequin freaky. I went, what the fuck is the ghost? Like, all the ghosts are sort of like ghost-shaped or like humans.
Humans, yeah.
But then there's suddenly this dragon, but I'm not really going to get involved in that.
I mean, I think either they were using it just so they could do the whole Satan joke, where the rock band was like, we've summoned Satan! Yeah! Like, no one cared. What was that all about? Like, no one in the theatre was actually like, oh shit.
Well, you turned to me in the cinema and went, what? When the guy was like, rah! Like, he was shouting down to the band.
Yeah.
You turned to me and said, what? That guy was the sound and lighting effects, and he was shouting, that's not me.
Oh.
So that's what that was. So they just thought it was a lighting effect.
Oh, wow, okay.
So he was like, that's not me! Like, so...
That's clever, I like that. I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah,
That's
well, it was probably just because you didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
So you just saw this guy shouting, like...
That's not me.
So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he was just saying, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a bit of clarity for
you. Movie clarity trivia.
So that Ghostbusting scene is the funniest Ghostbusting scene we get.
Yeah.
It's got some funny bits in it, like the stage dive. That didn't annoy me as much as it did in the trailer. That whole line, like I don't know if it's a lady thing or a black thing, but I'm pissed.
Yeah, I still think they didn't.
I thought it was funnier in the film.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I still stand by that they just didn't need it.
No,
because you're trying to switch up this stuff, and then
they should have just went up. Hey.
Yeah, like what the hell, man? Like you caught the other person.
But yeah, then it was just like what? But yeah, so the funniest Ghostbusting scene's in the trailer, which was annoying. Like that's the only time we really see Ghostbusting.
Yeah, for the whole that was literally like
the only Ghostbusting. Like that's the only time they catch a ghost and put it in like the trap.
It was 10 minutes of this is what a Ghostbuster film is. Yeah, and then the rest of it was kind of different.
It was just them fighting like, the main bad guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after we get this funny like nope, going home. That was hilarious. Then they catch the ghost, and then Kristen Wiig goes, "Did we just catch a ghost?" Like that line was just like Mark Wahlberg in The Happening. Yeah, that was just the worst line.
Worst delivery.
Line. Like that was terrible.
It also felt out of place because it was just all this other stuff had happened, and you never got an inkling that anyone was vaguely affected. I don't know how to explain it, but and then suddenly she's like, "Did we just catch and go?" And
it just felt weird.
Yeah, just like okay.
No one reacted in a way like. Not even the guy who was like, the lighting technician guy. Not even he was like, "Fuck this shit, there's a ghost man, fuck that." Yeah. He was just like, "It's not me. It's cool though."
It's dragon. Satan.
Like, fuck off.
Also, the main singer of the band
gets thrown 10 feet in the air into speakers,
crushed by like kilos on kilos of speakers.
And he's back up singing with the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he died. No, he's dead.
That's the end of that guy. He should have been back as a ghost singing.
Yeah, Ghostbusters 3. After Ghostbusters 2, The Ghost Train, Ghostbusters 3 is the return of the singer Ghost Man.
Ghostbusters 3, the Ghost
Devil summoning man.
Anyway. Yeah. Then there's another weird dance scene where they're all dancing. They're like, "We just caught a ghost," and then Kevin joins in. He's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Bill Murray's here."
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Bill Murray showed up.
Bill Murray does not care at all about anything.
No.
He put no effort into that.
Yeah.
The only time he was like seemed like he was remotely enjoying himself was just before he died. Because she opens up the trap, and then he goes, "Casper," and then gets thrown out the window. Like that was the only Bill Murray feeling line he said in that whole film.
He just didn't care to be there. It's weird because I thought I heard a load of news about how none of them wanted to come back, and yet everyone came back.
Everyone came back
for a cameo,
which is cool.
His was weird because he had
his was really long.
It was an extended cameo.
He had a character.
He had a scene on the television.
Yeah,
and then a scene where he was actually in the room.
Yeah.
They all got to sort of argue.
But I felt like he cared the least out of everyone.
Yeah, but the thing is, if they could have had him, oh no, something came up on the screen.
Recording has stopped because the maximum time is reached.
Woo! Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's right. Well,
should I just fill it with time?
Yeah, record another one.
Oh,
save it and record another.
Alright, so I've saved that.
Because we've still got audio. So, hello everyone, this is us doing audio.
Yeah, wait. Woo! I'm trying to figure out a way to do this because... Oh, no, wait.
Yeah, because if you could then sync up...
It's not letting me... Oh, yeah, it is.
Sync up the video with the audio and...
Record. Alright.
Hey, we're back!
We don't know what happened, but something did.
There might be a bit of darkness
there. I might clap.
Yeah, do a little...
There we go.
Beautiful.
Actually, I'll do it. 3, 2, 1... So yeah, you might just get a bit of blackness there. I don't know whether or not we'll try and fake that. We didn't really say anything. What had happened? I'm not sure how much we missed.
Well, I mean, we recorded a bit of audio. So.
But yeah, anyway. That's cool. We'll be fine. Then they kill Bill Murray, which was annoying. Don't kill Bill Murray.
The thing is, if they can get all these guys to come back for cameos, give them more important roles than what they did.
Yeah, give them Ghostbusting.
Make this a sequel to Ghostbusters 2 and then give them passing on roles instead of just random cameos.
then I was like, why did they release the ghost? Like, I don't give a fuck like what Bill Murray's saying. You've got a ghost. I'm like, if you're gonna release the ghost, tell everyone you're gonna do it. Get the protein packs out, like let it out.
Yeah.
And send it back in. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
a guy just died because of your stupidity. Like, yeah, it's funny, but you just killed a man.
I then put like the mayor covering up the ghost attacks was clever, but also could have like linked the movies to the prequels.
Yeah, exactly. It was all there. Like, they could have done, like, this is we've covered up whatever happened in the past. Now you new Ghostbusters are doing it again. We thought we got rid of this. Like, for God's sake.
But then there was a weird like cat out of the bag like improv.
Yeah. Oh, that was terrible.
That was so long.
It was like, well, the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, but
we
no, we
can
can
put the cat in the bag.
No, because that's the whole point. When the cat's out of the bag, the cat's out of the bag. Yeah, but we're going to take the cat, put it back in the bag. No, but
once the cat's out, it's difficult to get it back in again. Like,
shut up!
Just move on.
Fucking
For Christ's sake. Like, it was so pointlessly bad.
But yeah, then after that, we leave the mayor's office, and
the mayor was in Oceans 11 and 12 and 13, wasn't he? The mayor was the casino owner from these films. It's cool to see him doing other stuff. I don't know what else he's been in.
He's not the mayor from Jaws, though.
Yeah. He's not. That was a great line.
That was a great line, but it felt like a weird thing for a Ghostbusters film.
Why?
Like a pop culture movie reference doesn't feel like it should be in a Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, but I mean, it was.
This film felt timeless because it didn't use like social media. Or anything.
Well, the thing is, a Jaws reference is timeless.
Yeah,
Jaws is such almost a timeless film.
Pop culture references are very sort of to this time.
Yeah,
they're very sort of a recent modern thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just love this.
That
reaction.
felt like a Paul Feig movie, not like a Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
His reaction was good though.
You're like the.
Don't be the mayor in Jaws.
Don't you
ever
compare it.
Never. That was fine.
Just the sudden switch, and then you never see that side again. It's so good.
They leave the mayor's office. They find out they have to work like undercover or whatever. But then they're walking down the street, and she's like, "Oh, here's a bunch of weapons I have. When did you make those? When did you put those out to leave? Like, what?
Yeah.
When did you?"
There was a bit of weird cutting going on.
Yeah, that was just felt weird. Like, did you just leave them out whilst you would?
Yeah.
Like,
to dry in the sun.
Like,
or
I don't
something.
know. It was just weird.
What did you think of those weapons? Because they never had weapons in the.
I hated them in the trailer. Didn't mind them in the movie.
I thought the glove was cool, but that was the idea, right?
Yeah, the glove was cool. Like the dual-wielded one she has at the end, I hated in the trailer. Made perfect sense in the film.
Yeah. Well, the thing is as well, I wonder if those were there for toys. Are they selling toys of those?
Probably.
Yeah. I wonder if I'm curious to know if like the studio like Sony or whoever was like.
Well, it's probably because like a protein pack's quite a big toy, but then you can have like a protein glove.
Yeah. Like
no, whatever.
Yeah. Well, so what was it? You had the shredder thing. That
the shredder
could kill anyone.
Yeah, the shredder sucked in like the trash can.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it kill
everything?
Yeah. I don't know. It confused me.
And then you had dual wield guns, and then you also had the glove. What was the other one?
The other one was the like shotgun thing.
Oh right.
That wasn't ready, so she gives her the Swiss Army knife.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That was such a stupid joke.
Well, it just had a weird payoff.
Yeah, because then
But then she also made it like a woman thing. She was like, no woman should leave without a Swiss Army knife. I was like,
I don't know. It was
why did the word woman need to be there? That confused me.
I was very confused by that bit.
Then we find out about ley lines. Already.
Ley lines, yeah.
And they go to the hotel. And then we meet the secretary of the receptionist.
Yeah, she came back.
But
looks the same character, basically.
But looks completely unrecognisable.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of work she's had done. Which was just weird.
Yeah. It was.
But yeah, it was a nice cameo. It was a cameo I wasn't expecting.
No.
Which, like, but as soon as I heard her talking, I was like,
just thinking about, and then she was rude, and she did all that stuff.
Alright, go downstairs. What's that creep done now? Like, yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, then this weird sort of second act ending, third act beginning happens. That's just not needed.
Yeah. So they go there.
He kills himself.
They go home. Gets possessed. Goes back out. Goes back to the place. I don't know. There was like a lot of back and forth going on. It felt a bit messy. What did you think about the whole scene where he vaguely explained the plan and then he killed himself?
I thought it was fine, and then like she has the book where he's like drawn himself like as like this massive, which
Yeah.
I really like that part.
And then like he had an illustration of himself doing what he did,
Yeah.
which I thought was actually quite
I thought it was
smart and
cool.
clever.
But then she should have taken that straight to the Ghostbusters as opposed to the mayor.
Yeah, what was she doing?
I don't know. That's,
Why? And then this is the point that we were saying about her
Wig is the
inconsistent
worst.
character.
I bet.
She just goes insane, and she's like, "You gotta escape
Down
the
in the
city."
city.
Yeah, and it's like her character wasn't like this at all.
Yeah.
Like this is not her character.
I put. There's an inconsistency between Melissa McCarthy's possession and Chris Hemsworth's possession.
Oh yeah.
Like Melissa McCarthy was like smiley, like, "Hello, Patricia. I'm going to throw this at you now." Whereas Hemsworth was like, "I'm just Chris Hemsworth, and
Yeah.
I've got a different like." He was having fun with it.
Yeah.
Whereas Melissa McCarthy just looked weird.
Yeah, like they obviously
Evil.
didn't. Either the director didn't communicate with the both of them about how they should be performing,
Yeah.
or
They didn't.
Melissa and Chris didn't talk about
No.
how they should do it. Because Chris was literally
Chris
Chris,
Hemsworth.
and then she was robot impression.
Yeah.
I am being possessed.
Like,
It
every
wasn't-
time she stood up, she'd like straight back, like
yeah, she was
her
doing,
head moved with her body.
Yeah, she was doing The Exorcist. Chris Hemsworth was doing Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. Which worked better to me.
I think because you could have the more personality in a comedy film is always better. You don't want to
Yeah.
do robot. Like it just wasn't funny.
I put the scene where all the ghosts get let out wasn't as scary as the one in '84.
Yeah, because you said about the score.
Yeah, like the score in the '84 version is like,
Yeah, like scary.
and then it's like a weird like, I'm up above.
Yeah.
And it's like terrifying.
Yeah.
And in this one it's like, "Bum, bum, bum, bum,
Ghosts
bum,
everywhere."
bum."
Yeah.
It's like, why? Why is that needed? Like, just do
Yeah.
your own shiz.
I thought the panes with like the hands and like the faces
Yeah, they're
up
like
against
they're like
them.
mirror-looking things.
Yeah,
like,
that was really cool.
They looked really
I
cool,
actually
and then like
really liked that
breaking out
effect.
of that, and that's where they all come from. Was
Yeah.
really interesting.
That was really because it was like when it was almost like 1980s Superman. What do you call it? Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
Like the glass. It was kind of like that.
Yeah,
It reminded
yeah,
me of that. I thought that was really cool.
I thought you meant his like silicone like
No.
S that he float. He just throws
you
at
like
the big
that?
guy.
How'd you feel now?
Yeah,
It really
yeah.
stops you in your tracks.
Yeah, that was
didn't
really inconvenient for you. Then we get the Dan Aykroyd cameo, which is my favourite cameo in the film.
it? Yes.
He's like, "Oh, it's just a couple of Type 4 vapors." It's like, "Where are you going?" "No, I don't want to go that far south." It's like, "Look, I don't go to Chinatown, I don't go that far south, and I ain't afraid of no ghosts." That was like, that's all you needed to do.
Yeah, it's
now you
good.
can fuck off. That's how you do a cameo.
But they spoiled it in like an advert.
Yeah, I know. I've been
Yeah.
trying to find that advert, and I don't know where it was, though.
Yeah, it's disappeared because they probably didn't want to spoil
Yeah,
it.
I think it was a CinemaCon
Yeah.
thing.
But it was. I only saw the advert
Because
once.
I tried Googling it so we could get like footage for it. of
Yeah.
it, but
It was. I only actually saw it.
I think it was CinemaCon.
Yeah, it was the Britain's Got Talent. Britain's Got Talent finale.
Oh, right, okay.
And then during the advert break, it was like Ghostbusters comes out soon, and then I Ain't Afraid of No Ghosts, and it was like, what? Why was that in it?
Yeah,
He's not part of the like main film.
yeah.
Why did they spoil that?
Because I sort of forgot they were going to do that. I thought.
Yeah, it was weird.
Then we get a Slimer cameo, which worked well because they didn't like acknowledge he never slimed. Excuse me. He never slimed anyone. He's never called Slimer. Like.
I felt like they could have put that in there. Like they could have been like, "Oh, what a Slimer" or something.
Yeah, like-
that could have been easy.
Like, I hear like it's slimy or just something like,
Yeah.
but they didn't. Which I was both content and like they could have done it. They didn't. Fine.
Either way, it was fine. Yeah.
Then the
then he
Stay
had a
Puft
female,
Man cameo.
Oh yeah.
Kind of worked
Yeah.
as like a parade.
I think that was a fun joke.
Yeah.
It was like there's a lot
It was
of in-jokes.
obvious, like the way they shot it. Like all the other ones bursting, then he comes down.
Yeah.
Like you don't see him at all. Was like cool.
That was cool because then you get the reveal like, it's
That's the Stay Puft Man.
What was I going to say about that? Yeah, it's almost like this film is The Force Awakens to A New Hope.
Yeah, like
In
it's
the-
a little bit too similar.
Yeah, there's so many references and like stuff. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, I don't know.
What was with the weird dance position?
Yeah, we have a theory about this.
Well, we feel like because the end credit is Chris Hemsworth dancing and everyone copying it, so we feel like that was what that whole scene was going to be, but instead you just get these weird positions.
Yeah, it's almost as if they cut down that scene. Like,
Yeah.
you were gonna get a joke scene of them all dancing what he's doing.
Little thing about that, because I have academia stuff for dance.
Okay.
I have grades in dance and things. So what really annoyed me about that scene is they're all doing the same pose, but all of their arms are at like different heights.
Yeah.
And that just pissed me off.
Oh no.
I was sat there like, if they're all possessed and they're all doing exactly what Chris Hemsworth is doing or told them to do, they should all be at the same height. Like, it just got on my tits. I don't know. That's the type of person I am. I'm sorry. It's so pointless. It's just me nitpicking. But god damn it, if you're gonna dance, do it properly.
F for the film.
Just,
it's a 0
This
out of
is
10.
the worst movie ever made.
0 out of 5, 0 out of 10.
No, actually, no. It's not Pierce Brosnan singing in Mamma Mia, so we're fine.
Yeah.
It could have been that.
Could have been.
There's then another. The whole sort of last act of this film is like cameos and references, because there's a big poster for a Twinkie, and it says "That's a big Twinkie" on it, which you missed.
It's a big Twinkie.
But it's in the trailer, so if you go back and watch like pretty much any of the trailers, I'm pretty sure it's there.
Right.
It's like the big shot of them looking at Times Square.
Yeah.
Like the four of them in the foreground and then the background.
Yeah.
It's there.
But now we're talking about Times Square. How good looking was this film?
It looked so nice.
Like-
It looked like I didn't really like the look of the ghosts to begin with.
No.
Like the lady ghost didn't look great.
No.
The executed ghost looked terrible. That's the worst looking
Really?
ghost in this whole film.
I thought it was quite creepy.
It was creepy, but it looked animated as fuck.
Oh yeah.
It just looked shit. But then the ghost after that looked fine.
Suddenly like I think a few people have been saying when you start seeing all the ghosts together it makes it look worse, but I think it just made it look better.
Yeah, I think in this film it definitely made it
It
look
just
better.
like you had the colours of Times Square and then you had all these different colours of ghosts.
Yeah.
And, like just the laser
like
beams.
the blues and the greens
Yeah.
and the bright orange from the laser beams.
It's such a like a unique palette for this film as well.
Yeah.
Like pinks and greens and purples.
Yeah, like the green's not really focused on a lot in
No.
films.
Because I think what that comes down to is like maybe because it's green screen or whatever, like
Yeah.
you tend to try and change stuff to other colours. But like in this they just embraced colour and they were like, you know what, this is
Which is nice. Which is what they rebooting again that they're like DC. What DC need to learn a little
they
bit.
need to get some colour. But the thing is, you're gonna see this film will probably be like. You'll go to like your local Currys or Comet or wherever they sell TVs, and every TV is going to have Ghostbusters on it
Because of how it looks.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to be like for the next 6 months or whatever.
It's like how the Marvel movies are always like shown in
because
the MCU ones, like
you get like the Avengers turning shot and stuff like that
because it's colourful and bright. And
Yeah.
you got the yellows, you got the red of the capes and stuff.
Yeah.
Blues.
you get to show like the motion
greens.
of the
Yeah.
TV.
I put
Definitely some Ghostbusters
I put the
in TV.
ghost fighting because I don't really call this ghost busting.
No.
The ghost fighting.
But ghost killing.
Yeah, the ghost fighting at the end of it is really well choreographed, badly edited, but really well like put together. Like it's slowed down on the right places so you can see what every single individual's doing.
Yeah.
Like even the bit, like there's a bit where they play like a ramped up Ghostbusters theme was.
Oh yeah,
McKenna gets like the dual wheel.
that was the moment in the film.
Which like I was pissed off about in the trailer.
Yeah.
Saw in the film, loved it.
Well, that was honestly the moment in the film where I suddenly was back in the cinema and I was like, I'm actually okay with this film.
Yeah.
Up to that point, I was like invested in the film, but I didn't really have an opinion.
I think it's because there was that pointless opening to the third act. That's
Yeah.
not needed. It should have just been him dead.
Ghost
I'm now
everywhere.
in Chris Hemsworth's body.
Yeah.
Like, or they just couldn't figure out how to get it off, and then like he pops up and goes, "Wait, bitches!" Goes finds Chris Hemsworth, takes over his body, or Chris Hemsworth walks in, gets,
I'm a Ghostbuster too.
Yeah.
And then, gets.
then that
No,
happens.
Kevin, no. Yeah.
And then it's them trying to get upstairs rather than them trying to
Yeah.
there were ways around it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know. Yeah, that scene just got me back in the room. And
Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
yeah, I think I
but
was
like,
uninvested. Yeah, I was uninvested from the moment he died up until the moment he entered Chris Hemsworth. Then I was back invested.
Yeah. I don't know, it was
Yeah.
cool. It was cool.
That
cool bit
bit
of
looked really
ghost
cool.
action.
Then put looks pretty. Then there's a weird like they finally go back to try and get Chris Hemsworth back. And there's a weird like Wizard of Oz reference that Kate McKinnon just starts singing.
Yeah.
Which I
That was funny because it just came out of nowhere.
yeah.
It's just like surreal singing just because.
Yeah. Then I got confused because he embodies the cartoon, the logo, but doesn't actually embody anything. He just becomes the logo.
Yeah, he just.
So why did he need a body?
He just. Yeah, I don't know.
Why did he need Melissa McCarthy and
That's
Chris
a good
Hemsworth?
point. Yeah.
I've really got my nerves.
Yeah, because he could literally shapeshift into anything he wanted.
If he'd have gone into like the car per se, or like they went into their like embroidered Ghostbusters thing and then like popped out of it,
Grew
like,
out of
"Way!"
it. Yeah.
Like it would have been confusing as shit, but it would have made more sense to me.
Yeah, because you've established the rule that you have to possess someone to take that.
But he just becomes anything.
Yeah, like would you like this, and then becomes like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Cute? Which looked, I enjoyed that. I thought it looked fun.
Yeah.
It was a weird sort of animation style, but it looked fun.
It literally was like Space Jam. Suddenly was in this film for a bit.
And then put the crushed taxi looked cool.
Yeah.
When he stands on the taxi.
Yeah, this is just a random visual effect.
It just looked really awesome.
Yeah, it's just.
So you've seen him crush a taxi, then you've seen his foot kind of come off the taxi goes out with it. And as it lands down, you see it peel off like the material of the foot.
Of the foot, yeah.
Which just looked really cool. It gave a bit of texture to the movie that like I feel like could have been overlooked.
I wonder if it was like a miniature or if it was like I don't know what.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder how they did that.
But yeah,
it's kind of like the bread in The Force Awakens when it goes.
Yeah. I then put nuclear device ex machina.
Oh yeah, because
on top of the car.
Because every movie.
Because it made sense when she said it. She was like, "No, don't shoot it. Basically, everything on top of it is nuclear." And I was like, "Haha, that's fine." Like that wouldn't surprise me if you did that.
Yeah.
Then it came back in as a plot point. I was like, "Okay, that's an ex machina."
Yeah.
Like, goddamn.
Yeah. It kind of works. I don't know. I didn't have.
It worked enough, but like,
to be fair.
yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
And then they aim for the penis.
Everything is solved with the nuke. Oh yeah, then they
aim for the penis. Of course,
they defeat the ghost by shooting it in the dong.
I mean, which made sense because he was like grabbing onto the thing, so it was like, oh,
yeah,
which like was funny. Like, I mean, you get kids in the nuts, you go for your nuts.
Yeah,
which was fine, but like.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think some people you could read into it and say like, oh, it was like a little bit of maybe a feminism joke or some kind of it was like women
empowerment type thing.
But at the same time, now I've seen it.
I disputed everyone who was like, oh, they did it. They killed the male character by shooting him in the dick. That wasn't the point of it.
No, it was just. I think it was just.
Let's loosen his grip by making him use his hand for something else.
Yeah, exactly. It was just
yes, they could have shot at his wrists. Yeah, sure.
But then you wouldn't get a funny joke.
Then you wouldn't get a little bit of banner.
You just get a dick joke. Why not?
Why not?
I'm honestly fine.
Then I put the tie cable ex machina. There's a random cable on the floor. Like
the wig attaches herself to, jumps in the thing, and then
you don't even see what it's attached to.
No,
like, is there like a fire truck nearby or something?
I don't know. And then like the building rebuilds it.
I've just figured out how they could have fucking done it better. Because we found the problem at the end of the movie is you suddenly get Leslie Jones and Kate McKinnon being like super strong.
Yeah,
and pulling them back.
Him...
It should have been attached to a truck that they drive and bring them back through via that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That table it should have just been attached to a truck. As she's running, just goes, when it pulls tight, drive me out of there or whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. Also, would have made more sense when they come back. They've got white hair. They run up, give them hugs, and like, oh, because it was so obvious. They're like looking at them for like a minute before they give them a hug. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Why do they have white hair?
No one knows.
Because the Gandalf the White, they're reborn.
I like this film. I enjoyed this movie, but I then wrote, diving into portal bullshit. Fuck this movie.
Why?
Yeah.
Just because.
I then wrote no sequel, but I don't know why. But yeah, let me get a Winston cameo. Who plays her uncle who loans her the
he shows up at the end. Does the thing.
He's like, oh, what happened to my hearse? You ruined it. No, we saved the world.
But again, if you could get him back, just have him just do a sequel to Ghostbusters, and then you could have him play his original character and be like, don't worry guys, I didn't know anything about science when I joined the team. Or something. Like been that kind of guy.
Still be her uncle. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Exactly.
Why not?
That's how the ghost. But that could have been the story. That's how like it got started. Leslie Jones' character could have rebuilt the Ghostbusters. Like, oh, my uncle told me about his adventures that no one.
But
believes
even if she didn't believe him, and then she sees the ghost, she's like, "Uncle," he's like, "I know you need to call." That could have been a ghost. That could have been a joke in the film. It's like, "I know you gotta call." And even if that was his only cameo, but he's still Winston.
I know he got a call. Like the camera zooms in dramatically on his face. He's like, "The ghost extinguishers."
Yeah.
Going off key.
Yeah. Then the movie ends,
Yeah.
and then we get sort of like mid credits, which is what are they?
I think the mid credit was the cameo, wasn't it?
Well, it was, but there was also a couple more as well. Like prior to that, there was Melissa McCarthy getting soup.
Yeah,
that was one for some reason. Then there was.
I think that was a Chris
then there was
Hemsworth.
them seeing the trap.
Oh yeah, which was in the trailer. Yeah, it's like an after credit scene or
And
mid credit scene.
then there was Sigourney Weaver shows up, and we don't really know who she is.
Yeah, she's she's supposedly the mentor of McKinnon.
She's something.
Oh, McKinnon was taught by her apparently.
No one really knows.
And they were both saying how like they don't care about safety or something.
Yeah.
No need for safety.
Confusing.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yeah, and then we get the credits dance scene, which is what it is. It was an interesting way of doing it because they moved the credits around.
Yeah, the credits were reacting to what they did.
So that I enjoyed that.
How we did in like the other videos we do. Like sometimes like we hit the thumbnails and stuff.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, and then we get the after credits.
Yeah,
with the mention of Zool.
Yeah, well, which we thought was going to be the fart joke again.
Yeah,
which would have paid off.
Yeah, I probably would have had a laugh about that.
Because then she's in on the joke, like, oh, what is this noise? And then,
and then everyone sort of leans in, and then, got it.
Came from the front. There's like,
but yeah,
but then no, we actually got some sequel bait.
Yeah, we got guys. Have you heard of Zool? But yeah, that was it's great, good film.
So we're gonna get the Keymaster and Gatekeeper.
I doubt it. I doubt they'll go very far with the Zool thing.
No.
Maybe they'll catch Zool in between movies.
Or like that'll be how the second film opens.
With them catching Zool.
Wow, if they just do like a recreation of the previous movie's ending as the opening sequence of the next one, like they're on the roof.
Ambitious but funny.
Yeah, and they're like doing it's shot for shot exactly the same.
I'd enjoy that. I think I'd enjoy the creativeness of that.
Yeah, and then they take on the thing, and then there's like the portal and the demons and the dogs. Oh, that'd be good. I'd like that.
Anyway, that's our review.
Yeah, or discussion, or spoiler discussion.
Spoiler heavy discussion.
Yeah, and the fridge has started making noises again.
It has. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed that.
Hopefully this is with video. I'm sure it will be. Hopefully.
I will do my best to try and get it up with video.
Because I mean, you've now got an editing challenge of trying to put the things together. But yeah, thank you very much for watching and listening. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Hit subscribe, and thank you very much.
Cheers.